this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
I get so much right.
That's right, kids. It's been a while, but he's back. He's back. The numero uno name dropper, the Windy City Wonder. It is.
I thought you say windbag.
Well, and you may know him as Sinbad's stunt double on Jingle All the Way. It is the most famous man you've never heard of, Mr. Robert. Don't call me late for coffee, Southgate.
Actually, I was a stunt double on Kazam. So, hi guys. It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
You know what? We're going to make this a more regular thing. We're going to actually put it on a schedule and make it happen. We're going to put events up because I have gotten into a habit of...
Besides coffee.
Besides coffee. That's an addiction, Lilith. This is something different.
I didn't want to say, we have a roster of interventions that we're planning this year. Do you want to be put on it?
I could be on it. No, you're not going to. That's a dumb intervention for me.
We got somebody from Marvel Snap. We got a Mountain Dew and tobacco.
We have a lot of people, yeah. So instead of speed dating, we're going to do speed interventions. We're going to just sit everyone down in a room and boom, 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 hit you all.
Nice. So you really want to stop me from drinking coffee? You'd rather
of course
me.
not. I wouldn't do
so
that
there we
to
go.
Dave.
No reason. So what I've been doing is every Saturday morning I have started. It started out as I was doing an AMA because of my marketing position, and I was like, oh, we'll just do an AMA, and then it turned into a weekly show. Gee, I've never done that before.
I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, that's new.
Speaking of addictions.
Yeah, and so now I have a show, and I've named it, and today was the first day it was more professional. We used StreamYard, familiar with, and it's called Pour Over, a marketing AMA with Rob Southgate. And we do events every week, every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Central Time. I can't believe I have an audience that keeps coming and loving it and writing positive things. And like today I talked all about this show, and hopefully we're going to have some people watching this show. So if you're out there and you're watching it, chat with us. Get in the chat. I would love it. I would love it. And want to see something else I learned?
Okay.
Oh, here we go. I learned how to share my screen.
Oh, okay.
You can join my newsletter for Pour Over Marketing on Substack. I've only done one thing so far with that newsletter. I was doing one, and I still have another one for podcasting called Drop the Mic. And that one I started, and then I kind of let it go away. But that one I'm about to bring back. So I'm going to be doing two different newsletter Substacks at least every other week. I'm planning hopefully to get to on Pour Over, doing that weekly, and doing Drop the Mic like every other week, where we talk about marketing and podcasting and blah, 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 blah. But it's all on Substack, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
That was gonna be my question. What's the newsletter? Just here's a tip for this week, or
yeah. Well, I'll tell you the podcasting one. Like the first, I think I did 3 of the 5 posts, so I got to finish those out. I did like 5 tips for starting off on the right foot. But then I added things, like I did one where I did for Black History Month, actually a year ago. That's why I let this thing sit. But now it's going to change. I did 5 Black run podcasts that you should be listening to. Shows that I listen to that I'm like, these are really great shows. It's not that it has to be the Black Experience, although I think one of them was. It's just, hey, if you're not aware, it's Black History Month. Let's support each other. Let's make sure we're encouraging. We'll do women-only ones. We'll do Hispanic ones, whatever. Not that I'm going to be doing all diversity-based lists, but things like that. Things like best true crime shows, or my list of whatever. So it's a podcast-centric one that has tips, and we'll have some marketing things laced into it. The other one, pour over marketing is really marketing tips. But my thing there is a lot of these things that I follow, a lot of these resources, they speak either at too high a level, or they speak with too much authority, or they make it seem like, do this or you're failing. Okay, we know that's a lot of BS. Lilith and I have talked marketing so much, and as both of us could tell you, I'm speaking for you, Lilith, there are no sure things. There are things you can do to, hedge your bets, to make it more professional. There are optimizing things you can do, but does that mean you're going to get 1 million followers? No. If it did, I'd have 1 million followers on some of my shows, but I don't. Marketing is testing and trying things and going with things that you really love. If you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to market something, there's the advertising side. That's the AB plus equals whatever. But then there's this other X factor, which is trying things and seeing, what you can do, what can happen. And that's what I want to speak to in that newsletter is, I might give some high level things, but I also, I put on my MBA professor hat. But then the other part of it is things that maybe it's ideas, maybe it's encouragement, maybe like I just wrote one about the importance. The first one I did was the importance of a newsletter. And I got really good response because everybody talks about newsletters, but they don't talk about what the actual value of it is, which is gaining email addresses from people that are actually wanting to follow you, that are actually opting in to hear what you have to say, that are saying, you have permission to sell to me. That is incredibly valuable. I just, on Pour Over, literally 20 minutes ago, I talked all about the power of podcasting and how it's an intimate format and how you're building that trust and building that relationship, whether you actually are. You don't have to sit there and get all involved like I'm going to their funeral because they followed me on the show, but they feel that connection. Why do we have so many people in Southgate Media Group that were fans that became podcasters? Because they felt they knew me. They felt they had that connection, right? Podcasting is incredibly powerful. And for a brand, if you can tap into that, if you can make magic with what you're doing and build that value, bam, you've got the whole thing sewn up. Does that mean you're going to have 1 million followers? No. But what if you have 20 followers to buy everything that you put out there? I'd say that's valuable. Mm-hmm. And then you attract people like Phil. But we're not going to talk about that.
You and your deranged proteges, I tell you.
Right. Oh, man, am I sorry. So, third best Southgate. I'm coming off of that other one, and I'm all hyped up on coffee. So let's talk about stuff.
I told you he'd be like, oh, well, let's go, kids. I just had 5 cups of coffee.
And guess what? We're going to do a hard stop at 10. I know you don't believe me. I've been getting good at it. So what questions do we have today?
I've been good at shutting my mouth, kids. All right. All right. I know you're probably interested in this, and, it goes well with our brand, but I'm sure you saw the announcement this week that we are getting finally got our announcement of a MCU Fantastic Four coming.
Yeah, no kidding. What do you think of that cast? I liked it a lot.
I'm not familiar with all of them. I mean, Pedro Pascal is,
everybody knows Pedro Pascal,
yeah,
and I think he's going to be great. You don't watch The Bear?
No.
What is wrong with you, Phil?
I'm sorry.
It's so good.
You know what,
so
Phil?
Good.
I want you to take that protege card and send it back to me.
Okay.
There's
the new newsletter you need to send out. Be like, okay, here's the top 10 shows I've watched, this month or this week or whatever.
I could do that. Well, actually, This Week in Geek had a newsletter that we built, but we never did anything with. Maybe I'll relaunch that at some point. Give me a break, man. I'm in 500 things right now.
Exactly.
But The Bear is wonderful. Cousin on The Bear.
Cousin.
He's
the
playing.
Baccarat. Yeah.
I never know how to say his name, but he's playing the Thing. He's going to be fabulous.
Yeah.
Did you? Well, I'm sure you watched this. Phil probably doesn't even know this existed. Do you watch Girls?
Yes, of course.
I hated him on that show, but he was great. I loved his acting. I hated him.
Yeah.
Oh, he was the worst.
He's kind of the worst in The Bear, but it's in a more charming way. They
Yes.
managed to make it a little more charming this time around. I think he's a little typecast because Ben Grimm is
Kind of the worst. Well, yeah, but I'm also going to say
the worst, but he's like grumpy, curmudgeon-y, kind of in that same way.
He's a different kind of worst, right? So you think about his lame character on Girls. Cousin is very different. Not the same guy at all. Still the worst. So he likes to play in the sandbox of how can I play with the worst? And Ben Grimm, you got to love Ben Grimm, but he's like you said, curmudgeon-y and
Yeah,
I think he's perfect
only
for
Reed
it.
Richards could love, honestly.
Yeah, right. Right.
I mean, I think they're trying to take care because I think, didn't they even say he is a Jewish actor and the thing is a Jewish character? So, I mean, it seems like they're trying to.
Yeah, trying not to cast outside of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we got a comment in the chat, guys.
Oh, hey, we have a guest.
Yes.
Oh, we're not bringing him in live. We're just going to have a comment.
Yeah, just a comment.
Hello,
Yeah,
Quinto.
everybody's always worried about the Fantastic Four movies.
Quinto is an
that track
amazing. Quinto is a friend of mine, an amazing artist. You should check out his stuff. Quinto, put your website in the chat so people can check you out.
Yes.
He does The Last Unicorn, which is just an amazing book. He and his wife Maria do this, and he's excellent. I'm so happy you're here, man. Anyway, Fantastic Four movies are never good, but
Especially that last one.
so here's the thing with the last one. I actually like the first two, but they are not MrCalavera.com. There you go.
Yes.
Everybody go to that, follow them, and buy their art, buy their books. They're fantastic. So look at that. I'm hyping again, dropping names and hyping.
It's what you do, Rob. It's what we expect.
Yeah, it's my jam, man. The first two are not good, but they're not as bad as you think. Like when you start,
the first one is actually tolerable. I think it still kind of technically holds up, but the second one where they really try to make Jessica Alba lean into
they screwed it up.
white presenting things, and it blew my mind. I was just like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah, and I think Dr. Doom was miscast.
Of course, but he was hot. He was a hot actor, and that's kind of what they do.
Yeah, and they had
Especially
that
at the Fox
really.
studios at the time.
They really.
He had to deal with them because of Nip Tuck, and you
Right.
know how the studio system works. So
Yep. They screwed up with Galacticus in that too. It was like, don't make him a cloud.
I thought the Reed Richards casting was fantastic, though.
I did too.
Oh,
I
nice.
love him a lot.
I also liked the Ben Grimm casting.
Oh, really?
Chickless, yeah.
I
Yeah,
did.
look
I
at
like
that.
him, but I was also a big fan of the Shield. So
Yes.
I'm watching.
Another FX.
Oh my
studio
god!
System.
Right. But that
And
one,
Jessica Alba from what was that? She did that show on Fox. So it was like real.
real
You
FXy. He was brilliant on the Shield. I mean, absolutely brilliant. So I probably had the bloom of that when I watched Fantastic
A
Four.
lot of people did. Like I said, the
And
first one
plus-
I think a lot of people will say, but then the second one goes.
Yeah, my name drop here. My buddy Doug Jones playing the Silver Surfer,
Oh, yeah.
which
Yeah.
if Ryan Reynolds gets it right, because there's rumors Silver Surfer is going to pop up. Silver Surfer and Galacticus are going to be in Fantastic Four. There was a big rumor that Silver Surfer was going to make a quick little cameo across the sky in Deadpool. You make that Doug Jones, and first of all, I'm buying every bit of memorabilia you've got. And I'm going to the theater to see it because Doug, as the Silver Surfer, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. Actually, what'd you guys think of that Deadpool 3 trailer?
I liked it. I loved it.
I'm apprehensive.
Are you?
Why? Because it's, it's
listen,
MCU now?
Disney can do a trailer. We all know this.
Yes.
And I love Ryan. I do, and I'm glad that Hughes embraced it and everything. The whole Wolverine costume finally. But I don't know. I just don't know right now.
See,
If they can pull it off, it'll be the best thing ever. But if they fail,
I don't think
it's
they're going
be
to fail.
Terrible.
I don't think they're going to fail. I think that when he called himself Marvel Jesus, that was Ryan Reynolds saying, "I did everything to get this right." So if they don't get it right, it's going to be the worst, like absolutely off the charts bad, or it's 100%. You don't call yourself Marvel Jesus unless you believe it's 100%.
But like when they were filming and they were under restrictions because of like he was an actor, he was a producer, all these things, they didn't let them ad-lib. So unless they're gonna go back in and do a couple of reshoots, I don't know. That's my whole thing about how and when and where they were filming and the restrictions that they were under. Because let's be real, Deadpool 1 and 2 are all Ryan Reynolds ad-libs.
Right.
That's what makes it. He is a fan. He knows that character inside and out. And when actors become restricted because of like studio interference, things can kind of go, and Disney's notorious for it.
I also think that in this case, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I really don't. I think they also know that they might be in trouble with some of the Marvel stuff.
Well, they know they're in trouble. They don't think. I'm
Right.
a stockholder. I know. They know they're in trouble.
Even though I'm still loving it, they've got to do something. And this is the opportunity. The Fantastic Four is not the opportunity. This is the opportunity.
Yeah,
And this is coming from a guy who,
fills the Fox Marvel universe. And
when
bring it,
Deadpool
usher it in.
first came out, I was very critical. If you listen back to those This Week in Geeks, I was not into it. I'm like, he's breaking the fourth wall. I don't like it. It doesn't fit for me. And I was really like not into it. Everyone else was like, woo, Deadpool. Then I saw the movie and I went, oh yeah, woo, Deadpool. And I really enjoyed both films tremendously. This, I'm not going into it with fanboy eyes. I know it's now Disney, not Fox. I know that his power has shifted a little bit with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think his power shifting is not, I think he's still going to have the teeth that he needs. I think that for him, especially how he's built his marketing agency and he's done some other things.
Yeah, I was
like,
just going to bring that up.
This is less critical. At that time, it was more critical for his career. This is less critical, not meaning that he's going to dial it in, meaning he could reach a point where he doesn't give any Fs and say, you know what? I'm going to do this Wild Kills the Fox universe, and it's either going to work or it's not. It could be the end of my career with Disney, but it's not going to be. I think it's going to work. I have the most unpopular opinion when it comes to Wolverine, so I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I will see it. Phil chiming in. Yeah, what? You don't like, for Wolverine, Quinto, you don't like Hugh Jackman, or you don't like the character of Wolverine? I'm anxious to see his unpopular opinion. Maybe he doesn't want to share it. Maybe he's like, no, just go to my website, mrcalavera.com. Yeah, I mean, I lean into it when I have the unpopular opinion. I told you.
Hugh Jackman won me over. But, like, I would have loved to either see Carl Urban or Daniel Radcliffe, somebody different.
Carl Urban, yeah.
Carl Urban. Oh, my God.
He's basically been auditioning for Wolverine
the whole time with the
you know
boys,
what I mean? So,
Yeah, but you know what? He's going to be, I hate to say this, but he's going to be too old. Just like Hugh Jackman was able to age into it. Carl Urban is going to be too old for a reboot for them
now. Yeah.
But what's his name from The Bear? He's the right height. He's real muscular, and he's a freaking great actor. You know who I'm talking about? The lead guy.
Oh, Jeremy Allen White. I don't
yes.
know about that.
Nope. Trust me.
Listen, I love him, but I don't know about that.
Trust me. He could pull it off.
So,
I thought that back when I watched Shameless. I was like, oh, this guy. He's not. There's no part of him that I see Logan in. Other than physically, I could see that. But then, watching him act, he could pull it off. He could make a very interesting Wolverine.
Here's the unpopular opinion.
That's unpopular. That's the truth. That's a fact.
Wolverine is the most overrated X-Man and a typical nice guy who expects Jean to fall for him despite all the rejection. He just gives me creepy vibes.
That's not an unpopular opinion. Honestly.
I think that's everybody's opinion. So, yeah.
But he fought the Hulk, man.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. He's fun, and Hugh Jackman is great to watch as him. When you get into that, yeah, he's a bit of a creepo. Even when you watch those movies, like the way he acts towards Cyclops and that, it's like, okay, I get it. That's in the comics. In the comics, I found him to be a creep.
Originally that was his character, but then at some point it's
evolved, but it's still at the heart of who the character is. He's definitely overrated, but overrated just means a lot of people like him, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you bring those characters in where they're supposedly unkillable. Yeah, I mean, again, it's like, sorry, Ray, it's like Batman to a certain extent, where it's like, oh no, this is the character who can always solve every problem and never has that much problem. Can't kill him. You can't.
Listen, the short kings need something, okay?
Yeah, good point, Jack.
Something.
Rogue was a teen in the movies. Yes, creepy.
Yeah.
There's that moment in the first X-Men movie. That's where
well, it's supposed to be Jubilee, but we won't get into it.
Yeah, right. But which is creepy. But in that movie, it's creepy. It's creepy, and he's kind of having a weird vibe there, and then his vibe with Jean Grey, like it's weird. At the same time, Snick,
but we all know who directed it too, so
right.
So, some things kind of track when you look back in retrospect, you know.
Yeah.
The signs were there.
And again, you need to round out the whole team. That was the problem with those movies. A lot of it was just like it's so Wolverine centric. Which are his solo movies? That's fine.
Trilogy, to be honest, a little bit more. I'll just be honest.
You like what?
The New Class trilogy, a little bit more. Minus the Mystique stuff. I really hate the Mystique stuff.
Yeah, well, it's off the mark, but at the same time, I still like all this stuff. We're with enough said. We've been going through. We're getting very close to the MCU movies, so we'll be starting on these soon.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's great. We're loving it. Have I talked about this on here?
No.
Have I revealed this?
I thought you were.
I thought you guys said you were working on it. I don't know if you published any.
We haven't. We've been recording them. It's Jack, Alil, and I.
You did say you were getting the team.
We went back to the original. We went back to Howard the Duck and started there.
Oh, good for you! You did it the right way.
And we're having a lot of fun with it. We're at Blade 2, I think.
Well, that's the last good movie you'll be watching.
But I do not agree, but we are inching our way up here. This is coming from somebody who was a DC fangirl. Please, Lilith.
Oh,
please.
DC Comics are better than Marvel. I'm sorry, but the movies, Marvel won. Marvel won with the movies.
Marvel won
with the movies.
Marvel won.
One of these
minus
days,
the villains.
One of these days, we may have to have another classic debates here. Oh.
Is it a debate when I'm right and you're wrong? That's not a debate. That's a conversation.
There's a drop. There's a new drop.
And actually, I agree. I like DC Comics, too. I like to play that I'm all tough about it. I like all this stuff, you know? There's good in all of it. I think that even with the movies...
Except for you, Justice League, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of the Justice. Sit down. Not you.
You weren't invited to this party. Yeah, and even in that, there's like parts that are okay. So I finally watched The Flash. Did I tell you guys this? Finally watched The Flash.
Yeah, there's a good part to it. There's a good part to it. Michael Keaton. Yeah, that's.
I was gonna say when the credits rolled. What?
Yeah, you're right. Michael Keaton was the best part, and even at that, like what they did with it wasn't great. The part that everyone talks about when he's running through time and how great that is, I gotta say, not great. That was stupid. What, Martha? Why'd you say that name?
Everybody's Martha in the team.
Everybody.
Or Nora.
Oh yeah, I mean the whole time travel scenes with the Flash. I mean those special effects were horrible. Like when he's in that thing.
The effects were way off. But that scene when you see the things and they're like running, I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me.
How is the TV show's budget bigger?
And looked better, yeah.
And
a CW TV show looked better than this thing.
Everybody was excited for the the Nicolas Cage Superman moment.
Oh, did you hear the interview he did about?
Yeah, he was mad.
Bamboozled on Legend.
Yeah, that's garbage. And
listen, Nicolas Cage allegedly is not hard to bamboozle.
Well, but at the same time, that wasn't what we were after. That was not what we were after. And the movie, like, I didn't feel any emotional connection. I mean, this is like his mom dying, all that stuff. This should be very emotional.
The only time I felt any excitement, any emotion is when the first time Keaton swoops down in that Batman suit and fighting the Russians or whatever. That's I was like, oh, this is what I'm here for.
It really,
this of the Batman Beyond movie trilogy.
They should have did something else
agree with
Keaton.
That too.
Yeah,
the way they treated Keaton too. Yeah, he'll never come back to them.
Yeah.
Like,
especially when
he literally did it as a favor.
They blew their shot.
They did. I mean, especially with what happened with Batwoman or whatever that one was.
Yeah,
Batgirl. He filmed a ton in that, and they just threw it away.
They literally I was talking about this last night. They literally destroyed the footage, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't believe they destroyed it.
No, I do. I think they're that.
But it's like, why not put it out? Why not put it out? Even if you don't want to do a theatrical release, why not just drop it on Max?
We all know why. You know the guy who runs the WB at the moment.
No, it's sitting on a hard drive. There is no way, because that's something that 20 years from now, 30 years from now, they can dip into. And they can release it on whatever format the thing is and make a ton of money just because people are like, I got to see this crazy shit.
It's lost.
They just can't put it out
it's
now.
In the wind.
Yeah, it's like with the Coyote versus Acme, and they're like they're
oh, God, yeah.
And they say they're going to just blow it up, and no, they're not going to blow it up.
I mean,
it'll sit on a hard drive.
I knew they weren't going to do that because it's a whole thing about the animation thing. I was like, no, they were trying to create buzz on that one.
Yeah. I'm also surprised that they didn't pull the plug on Ezra.
Oh yeah, we said that.
We're like, I can't believe this movie's coming out.
Yeah, we kept saying that when the movie was coming out. We're like, you're not going to release
Are you crazy?
You're not going to release Batgirl, but you're going to release this with all the stuff Ezra's up to.
And they tried to make it seem like as it was coming out, it all got shuffled. You weren't hearing about it. Guess what? People remember.
Not release it and put Aquaman 2 out.
Ugh.
Just saying.
Ugh.
And then just ended that universe earlier because there was no need to drag it out.
Yeah, no need.
Oh yeah, someone has.
Or Blue Beetle, meanwhile, has to suffer the backlash of coming after the Flash and stuff. It was just
but Blue Beetle, supposedly that's going to stay in James Gunn's universe. Are you sure? I thought James Gunn just said
he made the comment, but Lilith's like, no, he's just saying that.
James Gunn doesn't know what he wants to do yet. I don't.
No,
know
I know
he's
still figuring it out.
I don't know why he keeps talking. You got to zip it till you actually know.
Yeah, but is he the one doing the talking?
He is.
And again, Blue Beetle, I mean, it's probably the best DC thing from last year. It's just, can you build a Can you build?
Aquaman 2 was the best thing, unfortunately, from last year.
I don't know.
Wait, you saw Aquaman 2?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're the 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we podcast, so we have to.
Yeah.
So. I forgot. I didn't see it. The first one I watched on a plane, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Well, Lilith hit that nail on the head, I think, in our review. Momoa phoned it in. Oh,
he's been phoning it in for a while,
but more than usual.
More than usual for a while. Know that
more than usual. He was phoning.
Yeah, he's playing the Momoa character. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, no.
He ruined Fast 10, aka Fast X, and I'm just like, you son of a.
You.
I've been off the Jason Momoa bandwagon probably as long as Lisa Bonet. But anyway, listen, she's on to something. Like when she moves on from a guy, I kind of see the vibes. I get it. Sorry, Lenny.
But
poor Lenny.
But I mean, my whole point was, it's like, can James Gunn build a new cohesive universe when it's like,
that Superman movie has to be everything.
Here's some new stuff.
That's a big gamble.
Something old from the previous stuff. Does it have to be all new stuff for it to?
It has to be all new stuff, I think, and he has to hit with Superman. Superman, he has it right with Superman. Has to be the heart of it, and that's where
it has to be the first thing.
Absolutely,
yeah.
But he also
needs to shuffle everything else. He does, Phil. It's got to be a complete
all new
start over.
It's not like Blue Beetle from previously. No,
none of this multiverse.
I'm so sick of the multiverse, bro.
I'm going to bring in Berlanti's people. Nope, it's got to be a wiped clean, and you got to get it right. And I don't have a problem with and I'm not going to call it multiverse, but the having the Batman in its own lane. They don't need to have this version of Batman become something in that universe. Yeah. They don't need to have Joker tie into this Batman. Exactly. And the Joker stuff does not need to slip into this Superman world.
Well, they're saying that Joker's just his own little universe, and maybe if the Batman 2 does good, it'll be its own little separate universe. And
I hope it is. I've enjoyed him.
Yeah, I need it to be.
I don't need to see, Ezra Miller come running through and like, wink to the old one. This is still kind of I don't need that at all. The
old Flash I want to see are John Wesley Shipp or freaking Grant Gustin.
Yeah, and I don't want to see them pop up in these now. In what was happening, sure, that was fun. No more.
But it's a tradition. You almost have to at this point.
No, you don't. Not if I'm running things. I am now running things.
But yeah, I think day one you have to do fresh.
Actors banned. Everybody else is welcome back. As far as maybe Jason Momoa and The Rock are banned as well. The Rock is banned actually. That's why I had to go running back to Vince McMahon, which was oh my god. I hope his wife's still not managing his career because she ruined Henry Cavill's. It looked like she might just be ruining his if she's back to managing him. But that's none of my business.
Oh my. Okay. I think I got to disagree with this. The Lady Gaga Joker 2 musical in the new show.
Makes everything great, but I don't know about Mama does not like a musical.
I think
I'm with you.
Yeah, I think the Justice League or the James Gunn stuff has to be a little more serious. We can't be dropping musicals in there like the first.
He should give Guillermo del Toro to do the Dark Justice League. I totally agree.
Absolutely should, and make it let Guillermo go wild. See, this is where I'm hesitant, though.
As long as the timing's right, because I think you have to set up the Justice League first. Because I mean,
look
at the Snyder, look at the Snyder stuff. They did Suicide Squad before the Justice League movie. I'm like, oh,
it's like, babes, we know we come to DC for the villains, but that's not what I wanted.
It was too soon.
Yeah.
He said he doesn't want to see Batman sing while fighting crime. Well, you know who you get. He's a little old, but since he couldn't play Superman, we can get Matt Bomber because he can sing and dance. He's a song and dance man. If we're going to do an older Batman, I'm just saying, give that man something else to do. They really screwed him out of the Superman job, and I've been mad about it ever since.
Batman, my favorite character.
Had to do.
Can we just stop doing musical numbers with these? Maybe I could suggest that.
That is a weird trend where I don't get it. Maybe because I'm not a big musical fan.
No, because it's theater
like
kids.
Wonka. Yeah, WB is in its musical era.
But not even WB. Sure. It seems like a lot of pop culture anymore. It's like, oh, well, we have to do an episode or whatever. It has to be a musical.
Right.
Does every franchise need a musical?
Blame Joss Whedon, bro.
I guess.
I do.
Yeah,
for everything.
I blame theater kids. How do we get a musical into this? Oh, I get to show off my singing and dancing. It goes back to like in the 70s. They wouldn't do a musical episode, but the way they got around it is we have to help the local church. Let's do a variety show. And each of the stars would go up and they'd do a song and they'd do a dance. And I'd be like, obviously,
it's one of those episodes.
Yes, always crap.
A very special episode.
Unless it was Lenny and the Squigtones, because that's a different animal.
Okay. It's giving Charlie Esser, but okay, I'll allow it.
Oh, good.
Lenny and the Squigtones had an album on Arista Records that was quite exceptional. Okay.
That's an interesting artistic choice.
Bird on the theater kids.
Charlie living on. I love it. I love it. Theater kids only do two things: go into politics or film. Yeah.
As someone who's lived in all three major cities, you are correct, sir.
Yeah. And guess what? All annoying. That's all right. That's all right. I was in two musicals, but never a big part. Not singing.
Running the lights or running the stage show. That's where it's at. You don't want to be on stage. You want to be behind the scenes.
Go
Make
back
things
look
happen.
at my history.
When you hit a good one, you know, they can be really engaging and fun. But when you think about the number of musicals that I've found like really like worth my time as a musical, the percentages are not good. You know?
You know what they say? There's two types of people in the world: the people who love musicals and the actually sane people.
Oh, sorry, Quito, because I have a feeling you love them.
I mean, I think there's a place for them, but I don't think every pop culture franchise needs a musical.
No.
Listen, if they could all be Grease, I would be happy, but they can't all be Grease.
No, thank
and
you.
Grease 2 specifically.
Well, okay.
Whoa.
Only if Michelle Pfeiffer is there.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Her singing Cool Writer?
Hey,
Come on, it's still the best.
Hey, okay, Jack.
But is it the best?
Okay, Jack, settle down.
No, I don't mean that way. Do you think that it was the best because, it was great seeing her sing, or great because Michelle Pfeiffer doing this was so surreal, and the whole thing is just so weird? That's what made it great.
That's exactly what makes it great, actually.
Yeah. Now, if we want to talk musicals, I dare say the South Park movie might be the best musical that's been made. The music's fantastic. It moves the story. It makes sense.
Book of Mormon
too,
you know?
Which one?
Matt and Trey have a way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you know what? Then we got to go backwards. And, you know, there are old musicals I like. Like
Wicked. Wicked is actually really good, too. It's one of the only ones I like. Wicked and Rent, pretty much. Wicked is good. I'm sorry.
Isn't there a Back to the Future one now?
Oh, my God. The Heathers one sucks, and the Mean Girls one sucks. I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
And I mean, the actual stage show. I was just like, nah, and then they turn them into movies. And it's like, no, just do a pro shoot. That's actually what the theater kids want. They don't want new actors playing those people. They want a pro shoot. Give them a pro shoot.
Yeah, and
keep it on, sell it on DVD on the website. Like, keep it out of the theater.
Like, okay, we saw Hamilton. Hamilton, fantastic.
There
we go.
Like Hamilton.
I enjoyed it. We talk. Then it goes to older ones. You know, I did. So you could make an argument that the first Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, it gets labeled as a musical, but it's kind of not. It's kind of got songs. Yeah. That one's fantastic, right?
Because it's not trying to be.
Right. Singing in the Rain is a perfect musical. That is a perfect musical. But how many after that? There's good ones. There's stuff that's fun watching, but the percentages are bad.
I'm a 90s kid. I literally grew up with Andrew Lloyd Webber and being drugged to shows, and that's probably why I don't like it. I just didn't get it. Like, Phantom of the Opera,
Me too.
okay, I can, from like a technical perspective of the songs and everything, like, yeah, I have, like, you know, on a
appreciation
level. Yeah. But, like, actually, like, having to be drugged and, like, actually do it, it's like,
I'd rather watch the old Lon Chaney movie. That's what I'd rather do.
No, it's pretty good.
I'd rather do that and put on
Emily Rossum, though, so.
But you watch that and you put on, like, I don't know, Black Sabbath album while you're watching it. Yeah! There's a musical. You're like, oh, this was cool. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird medium. I've had this conversation. Wizard of Oz? I love Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
I do.
They have just the right amount of songs. Like, they keep it moving.
Well, see, that's just it. I think that those musicals, all the songs are so integral into the story that they become part of the actual experience. Where my problem with musicals is we're going to break into song right now.
Breaking a song while they're singing, yeah.
So, like, Quinto, you said, you know, I'd love to see Batman sing while fighting crime. First of all, he's not. Second of all, that would be so weird, man. Like, and I like weird, but it's not working for me. Sweeney Todd was a good musical. I haven't seen it. But see, is it the story you like, or is it the music part of it? And for me, when I hear the music part on a lot of these, they're so I don't like the show-tuney type singing. I just don't. I have that problem even with Disney stuff. Everyone loves all the Disney music, and it's like, yeah, but when I listen to it without watching,
those movies in spite of, unless it's the actual soundtrack where they have the actual they have famous people singing them. Like, I don't like the actual actors singing it. If that makes, except for Noni Rose, not you, Noni Rose. You're perfect. I love you.
Hashtag Noni Rose stan Lilith. Yeah, enough about musicals. We're a very music-oriented family around here. We love music, and a good musical is really fun. Is it the top thing on my list? No. But then again, like I said, Singing in the Rain, I'll watch that anytime. It's perfect. It's great.
Well, someone mentioned...
Question, has there ever been a Western besides Annie, actual Western movie musical besides Annie Got Your Gun?
Yeah.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, Paint Your Wagon. That's a good one.
Oh.
It's a good one because it's weird.
No, that new Joker movie is not going to change Rob's mind. I have so many thoughts about Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker.
You know me. You think that's going to change my mind? And I do. I like Lady Gaga. I like Joaquin Phoenix. I love the first Joker movie, and I really want this to work. And I
love that. Oh,
I
Rob,
feel like they're doing ayahuasca with Grant Morris over there, bro.
I love that opinion. Oh, Rob's wishy-washy. He'll watch this and change his mind. I mean, you said you changed your mind on Deadpool. You were like, I don't know.
I will admit when I'm wrong about stuff. I was wrong about Deadpool.
He's like, I'm never wrong, but I'll admit when I.
But I did say
when I was apprehensive. It truly was because it was Fox Studios.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
But it's like Ryan Reynolds was like, two guys and two girls, a guy in a pizza party. Oh no. Oh no.
I get so much right.
And then those two movies that had come out right before Deadpool, that one with Ben Kingsley, where he was living,
Gandhi,
he took his body over, and then there was another one where I was just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
we were in this weird Ryan Reynolds renaissance, but none of the movies were they were definitely B-list movies.
Right. That's why it was such a big gamble for him. It had to work.
And then we all know, the
it had to work, or Back to
Deadpool.
Canada with You, Ryan Reynolds.
Well,
back to Tim
my
Hortons.
theory, right?
Huh?
All American sweethearts are Canadian. William Shatner was America's sweetheart for a while. Caroline Ray.
Oh, I thought you meant
Pamela
just
Anderson,
from watching watching the Hallmark Channel. I would say that's completely true.
It's a weird thing.
You ever see that Saturday Night Live when they do the Hallmark thing and they've got what's his name? He was on Freaks and Geeks. He was on
Jonathan Francis Daly?
No. The big star of that group, other than Seth Rogen.
James DeFranco?
James DeFranco. He was a guest on it.
The lesser of the Franco brothers. Okay.
And they do a Hallmark thing, and they're like, coming up next. It's so funny because he plays the character Chris Bearstick, and they go, Canadian good-looking Chris Bearstick is going to be a barber in whatever, and then the next one, Chris Bearstick is back as a baker whose girlfriend. It's the funniest thing. Chris Bearstick, Canadian good-looking Chris Bearstick. That is too funny to me.
Okay, I do want to ask you one marketing question.
All right.
I was reading something and they said that just half of marketers are happy at work. And I'm like, duh. Like, why is this news? Why'd you even bother doing a survey? It's one of those things. Either the place you work at has a great culture or it doesn't. It's kind of no in between when it comes to like.
What is that? What is that poll about? Could that be said about just about any job?
Oh, yeah.
Even amazing jobs. Half the people are like, screw this.
No, I think it depends. It honestly depends on what industry you're in.
Also,
like,
what day they ask you.
Like, if you are high level in, let's say banking, you love your job because you don't do shit. Speaking from experience.
But do they love their job? I would say 50% probably don't. 50% are like, I bide my time till I can go home and watch the Flash movie.
Now, the tech
because the
support
people that are targeted
lives.
for the Flash movie are the bankers. Anyway.
I don't think so. But yeah, I found that interesting. I'm just like, well, duh. Water makes things wet, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
then I think because it's like, well, there's a lot of disparity in the pay gaps and stuff too, though, when it comes to marketing. And that's everywhere too. But like really obvious, like really big gaps, like 20 to 25% in some cases.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on your specialty. And a lot of people still do go to school for marketing, which, you know, an MBA is expensive. You know that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is
like
expensive.
being a doctor, like you do all that, you go into all this debt because you believe in it. You really, you know, think you can make a change and there's something promising there, but then you get into the nooks and crannies of it and it's, yeah.
This is my school of marketing, the Rob Southgate School of Marketing.
I tell you what, it also is, I find it to be an industry that's difficult, but I think this, once again, could probably be true of anything. The reason people, like 50% wouldn't be happy is, I can't believe the amount of crap that you get from people. That everybody's an expert. Everybody knows better. And everyone kind of treats you like secondary. And then, like when you watch TV shows, if they bring up somebody who's a marketing person, it's always like, oh, well, they're the devil because they just sell us stuff we don't need. And it's like, what are you talking about? Marketing is not...
Way more than that,
yeah. Yeah. And the other part of it, and this is what I don't like, I don't like how everybody's an expert and acts like they are, and you're like, come on, just be honest. We're all just trying to figure things out every minute of the day. It's
well, they want to. Well, no,
it's shifting sand.
They want to sell you a course, you know.
Right, but it's shifting sand. No, not just that. I have people like I'm helping somebody, and then all of a sudden they hear one thing, and they're the expert. This isn't going to work, and you're an idiot. And it's like, well, no, I'm going to tell you to try it. I'm going to tell you to try 5 different things. And if one of them works, great. If none of them work, I wasn't an idiot. It's just how it is. And that can be something that makes people really upset. In my course that I teach, in my college course for digital marketing, I do this thing. They take a simulation where it's 10 rounds, and they have a marketing director that says, we're trying to sell these handbags. Here's your marketing budget, and we want you to do a mix of, we for sure want you to have Facebook ads and be on podcasts, and then whatever else for the budget you can spend however you want. And they have to try these things out. And I know other professors that do this, and they grade you by what your score is. And I don't. Do it. Try something different. If you fail, you still get all the points. And the reason I do that is that's how marketing works. You fail enough, you get fired. Right?
Yes.
Unless you're a good talker and you can say, look, we're going to fail a lot until we don't. And when you hit it, you're going to hit that home run, and you were worth every penny as long as you're trying different things. And that's a part that is really, I think, where people get upset too, because they feel like I could lose my job at any second. I'm always wrong, or the pressure of I have to hit a home run. And I don't agree with any of that. You know, I think you have to keep trying things. It's just if you stop trying and you're like, I'm going to just sit on my butt, that doesn't work. And you also have to know your lane. Marketing, you've got the people that are the people that come up with copy. You've got the people that are artists. You've got people that literally just look at analytics. They're all marketers. They're all different aspects of it. Get in your right lane, and people that hire a marketer should understand whose lane is what lane, and don't worry about it. If you know what, my imagery is not great. I don't have an art degree. It's good. Sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's not good at all. Don't come at me. You can tell me, hey, we need better artwork. Great. Let's get somebody on it, or I'll try something else. But it's not always this all or nothing, and you're a piece of crap if you didn't hit it out of the park. And that's where I think there's a pressure in marketing. People feel that way, you know? And we get called the devil a lot, which is ridiculous.
Well, you know.
Unless you're a podcaster, you're the devil.
Oh.
Even some podcasters, but we won't name names, but something. Blue
Wait,
Chew.
I've got something caught in my throat. Phil! Phil Parrish! No, I'm kidding.
Oh, please.
Something Blue Chew.
If I was the devil, I'd be more successful.
According to Cat Williams.
Oh, God.
Are you quoting Cat Williams?
Can and will.
I remember I was working in a video store, and the first time I encountered Cat Williams, we got this catalog from some little video company. We didn't sell video like DVDs or anything. We were selling equipment, but we would get these catalogs. I think they were hoping that we'd put them on in the store, put their things on, or lay them around so people would be like, "Ooh, look, DVDs." And one of them had all these Cat Williams specials. I had never heard of Cat Williams, and I remember like looking at this, going like the way they hyped it up, it was like the greatest comedian of our generation, and all this. I'm like, I've never even heard of this guy. Of course, now I've heard of him, and of course I've seen him on stuff. And I'm like, yeah, he's funny. He's not the devil. But it was so funny because my first interaction with Cat Williams was whatever his marketing people, he's the greatest thing. And I'm like, well, we kind of skipped over a lot of funny comedians. Oh, and by the way, comedians and musicals are two things I don't love.
You don't love comedians?
No. And I was an improviser, and I don't like improvisers either.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I think comedians are like, well, it's changed just because the culture of everything, but like, I used to be big into going to comedy shows a lot. I think
I did, but then
again, much like OnlyFans, I like that farm to table interaction. Like, I like to know that because at the end of the day, at the end of the night, they're getting cashed out and they're moving on to their next city, doing their next little bit, and like, you know.
Well, good news for you. Emo Phillips has an OnlyFans. Brought to you, Third Best Southgate, brought to you by Emo Phillips on OnlyFans. Boy, that's a deep cut joke that like 3 people are going to be like, ew, haha, gross. You know what? I like the same thing. I like the spontaneity of like improv, but then I don't really like the shows. I just don't really like it. I don't know.
I love when a heckler gets heckled back. I love it.
I don't care about any of that. I really don't. I like stories about them. So like Marvelous Miss Maisel, loved it.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Punchline, loved watching it. Do I want to be in a room with any of them? No.
I don't know. I like the energy of a comedy club, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's an energy, just like improv shows. There could be a really great energy, but and like I said, I did it for a long time, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I've got like no.
He's
interest.
old and curmudgeon-y. It's okay.
Rob's like, no one has reached the heights of Carrot Talk.
No, it's Gallagher. First of all, how dare you?
Well.
Gallagher, yeah, I make Gallagher jokes all the time. About like, you know, you're at this thing and I'll be like, oh, it's like a Gallagher show. Get out your poncho.
Oh, jeez. The watermelons on this guy.
Shout out to the people who sat in the front, paid extra for that.
Oh, yeah. Who pays extra for that? I got sprayed with watermelon. You know what? Give me $5 and I will spray watermelon all over you 3 times a day.
Not in the face.
Yeah, those seeds hurt.
Oh, jeez.
And I also want to bring up something Jack said in the thread that we skipped over. Wait. If Cat's live action is placed in the DC universe, a new twist on Catwoman,
Well, it would be Taylor Swift.
Suddenly I'm eating all my words. No, I'm not. Although I am going to watch that at some point.
No. People listen. Just watch the reviews on YouTube. Everybody went into a descent of madness and literally stopped posting for 3 months after they reviewed Cat.
Yeah, I don't want to review it.
Ideas, we didn't see them for a year because of that movie.
I could not sit through the trailer. I was like, oh my God. And James Corden brought up rage in me.
That was what threw me. I'm like, Idris, what do they have on you?
He
goes on to do that diamond mine, that gold mine document. What do they have on you, Idra? Blink twice if you need rescue.
Yeah. No, thank you. Don't anger the Swifties. Oh, I'm not angering the Swifties. In fact, I heard she's the best part of the movie. That really just watch that scene and watch her, and you're like, oh, this was actually pretty cool.
I think, Rebel Wilson was the best part of the movie. There, I said it.
I didn't even know she was in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that James Corden was in it, and it makes me angry. It makes me angry when I see him in that cat costume. And the other thing that makes me angry is I can't get over the fact that they don't have buttholes.
Whoa.
They're cats. We have cats in our lives. They have a butthole. You don't even think about it. If they had it in there, unless they did a prominent thing, you would not think about it at all. But when they're not there, it's like
It's like cat dog. How do they handle their business?
Exactly. Somebody's getting the raw end of the stick on that.
Well, on that note,
Let's end on buttholes, kid.
Yeah. Welcome to Butthole Talk. James Corden is in every musical ever made, even the ones before his birth. I wouldn't say all the good ones, though, because
another somebody who needs to look at their manager.
There are two things that I liked James Corden in. And I did. I liked him on Doctor Who. I thought he was going to end up being a companion. I thought he was really good in that episode. That was the first time I'd ever seen him, and I was like, oh, I like this guy. And then right after that, I saw a show called The Wrong Mans. It was a BBC show that was on Hulu. I really liked him on that show. And then we're done.
I mean, well, didn't he come up with that carpool karaoke? And then it seemed like after that, maybe it was just his people are just like, oh, we have to get you on everything that has to do with music ever.
Right. Then he becomes Theater Kid Prime. And that's when I was like, yeah, I'm kind of out. Not so
being out. Hard stop, Robert.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Well done, Lilith.
I will ask you about Doctor Who next time, so please be prepared.
Oh, yeah. You know, I'll always talk Doctor Who, although I have not watched the third special yet. But follow me on Substack. Join my newsletter for Pour Over Marketing. And while we're at it, I might as well show you my other promo.
So much for that hard stop.
Yeah. Up next, the third best Southgate.
Ah.
Yeah. See, I promoted. So that's it. Please, Pour Over Marketing, Saturday mornings. Go to New Media Lab or follow me on Facebook, either one on Facebook. And I talk for an hour about marketing, and it's an open AMA. And now that I'm on Substack, I'll actually invite guests on. So anyone that wants to come on and talk, Lilith, you can come on and talk about marketing. We don't talk about all the DC stuff and all that. Phil, you can come on too if you want a guest. But yeah,
he can ask you the layperson's questions.
He'll come on and be like, "Let's talk about marketing." So Flash is fighting Aquaman. That's not marketing, Phil.
Flash you can ask why you think a particular product failed.
Oh, don't be ridiculous! I'll be like, "How do I promote my Flash podcast?"
Why do things fail?
You can come on and talk about podcast marketing. You know, I can talk about that all day.
Oh yes.
So yeah, anyone wants to be a guest, hit me up, and we'll have you on. I love it. And thanks again. We're going to try and get a regular schedule for Third Best Southgate because this is a blast. And we'll do it the same way. We'll do it immediately following Pour Over. And newsletter coming soon and blah, 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 blah.
Yes, and send us your topics for anything you want to hear this man talk about. So love you, say, I'll talk about marketing, I'll talk about this. You'll talk about anything. Come on.
We didn't even get into it. I got other stuff to talk about. But
really, we all just want to know what Molly's up to, but we didn't want to do that.
That's another show, let me tell you.
That's right, kid. We can't book Molly South yet. We can get there.
She did submit her first book to the publisher.
Oh, nice.
Oh. Let us know when it drops.
Yeah, she's.
Oh, you know me. I'll never say a word about it.
Yeah, she's too high level for us. Yeah, that's why we have the third best Southgate kid.
That's right.
Well, we didn't include the cat for his sake.
Yeah, we get the Southgate who talks about cats' buttholes.
Maybe on the next episode, I'll explain the pictures behind me.
Oh, cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.